Hello and welcome to Our Cottage Garden. In today's video, I want to share with you all about apothecary gardens. We're going to be talking about what they are, how to get started, and some of my favorite plants for starting your own healing garden. And I will also share my favorite tea recipe, which I've been drinking all the time, and I'm going to be drinking throughout this video. So an apothecary or physic garden is a place where you grow herbs, plants, and even trees for their healing and their medicinal properties, specifically for those properties. Physic gardens date back to the Middle Ages, and they were all about studying the medicinal properties of plants. And apothecary gardens were really all about turning to nature in order to heal us. Sort of like going into your local pharmacy and, being prescribed different medicines for whatever ailment you have. You could go out into your own apothecary garden and pick a little bit of this, a few leaves of that, and make your own little remedy. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this tea. Gosh, it's such a beautiful, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a honey color. It's so good. Oh my. I've been drinking this all the time, I love this one. Today, I know many people have been turning back to nature to heal themselves. And I think it can be a really powerful practice to connect more deeply with our own bodies and our own energies, and also to connect with the natural world all around us. So I think when you get started, you want to plant things that are exciting and interesting and spark some kind of inspiration within you so that you stay committed and dedicated to this apothecary garden. I don't know if I've talked about this much on this channel, but I'm a Reiki practitioner. And in my practice, I work a lot with aromatherapy, and I love making my own teas. And I use herbs for energetic cleansing and clearing. So being able to grow my own medicine is very empowering. And it almost feels like my own little magical garden. But for beginners, here's what you want to do. You want to grow things that are, one, easy. You want to grow things that are easy to grow so that you feel excited and encouraged by this gardening pursuit. And two, you want to grow things that are relevant to your life. Not only what excites you, but definitely plant things, like I said, that excite and inspire you. What excites you? What lights you up? What gets you excited about going into the garden and planting? But also what's relevant to you. What ailments do you kind of struggle with? Do you have anxiety? Do you have trouble sleeping? Start to look at and investigate and research the history of these healing properties of these different medicinal plants. And when you start this investigation and you start this kind of research, you can then build an apothecary garden that's specifically designed to help you with whatever you're moving through. Now, as with anything, ensure that you talk to your doctor before trying any of these teas. You can really see this kind of holistic medicine and these holistic therapies as a complement and never a substitute to seeking professional medical help and advice. So here's the list of what I would plant as a beginner if I was starting my very own apothecary garden. The first one, I'm going to say 1 and 2, are lemon balm and also lemon verbena. Both of these plants have an insane lemon scent and flavor. It's really crazy. If you just go up and sort of stroke the leaves a little bit between your fingers, it smells amazingly of lemon fruits. It's one of those things that does feel like a magical thing. It's like a plant mimicking or even doing an impersonation of another plant. It's quite extraordinary, but those are wonderful. So the properties of lemon balm. Lemon balm is great for stress if you're having a particularly stressful day. It's also great for cognition. If you need to feel focused, if you need to focus on something, a project or something like that, you're studying for something, but you don't want to have any caffeine, lemon balm is great for that. It's also great for digestion, as are so many different teas. And you can also use lemon balm for PMS symptoms. So if you're cycling, then you can really use that to support you. And lemon verbena is really great for, it's like an anti-inflammatory. It's great for helping to soothe inflammation in your body. It's also great for the skin, as you might imagine, as an anti-inflammatory. It's great for the skin. It's great for hydration in the skin. And it can also help you recover from exercise more easily, because it can help with that muscle damage, sort of repairing that muscle damage. So it's just another really wonderful tea sort of all around healthful tea. I have them growing in pots, and you could try growing them in the ground, the lemon balm and the lemon verbena. I know an herbalist who lives right down the street from me, and she grows her lemon balm in a really beautiful kind of knot garden. So you can definitely do that. But with this next one, only grow it in pots or containers. You could grow it in a really beautiful stone basin. I've seen it done like that. You could grow it in barrels and things like that, but make sure that it's enclosed. Make sure that it is inside of a container because it spreads like wildfire. And it's mints. The one specifically that I would recommend, especially for beginners because it's so exciting and fun to grow, is chocolate peppermint. Chocolate peppermint is a wonderful herb. I absolutely love it. I'm completely obsessed. I have 2 chocolate peppermint plants and I'm so glad I got them. First of all, they're beautiful. They have almost like a burgundy leaf combined with that dark green. So together it just looks like a really beautiful lush plant. I have found that mints can grow in a little bit more shade, so you can, have that as to sort of fill in a shadier area, which is really, really nice. I have grown a lot of different kinds of mints. I have made the mistake of growing mint in the ground. For us, it didn't really take over, but that was just because of the specific growing conditions, but I would not recommend that. Definitely grow it in a container. We have tons of different mint right now. Spearmint is another wonderful one. That's a really great, very supportive one as well for cycling if you're on your period or something like that. Spearmint is a really great mint to grow. Peppermint, mojito mint, so many mints. Pineapple mint is also a great one. And mint is great for immunity, boosting your immune system. It's great for respiratory issues like asthma. It's great for digestion. And it can also help with insomnia if you struggle with that, but the list goes on. So I spoke about pineapple mint, but you can also have pineapple sage, and that is my next one on this list. I think this is my first year growing pineapple sage, and I love it. It is amazing. There's a theme here, I like things that are sort of replicating something else. For me, that's just very, very exciting. That's a very exciting thing about it because it's just really, I don't know, inspiring, interesting to me that that's the way plants work. So it's just got an incredible, sweet, identical to pineapple smell. If you didn't know and you just crushed it and put it up in front of somebody's nose, or even just like gently kind of rubbed the leaf and put it up in front of somebody's nose, they would definitely smell pineapple. They'd be able to notice it and recognize it immediately. It is just incredible how similar it is. And it helps to regulate the nervous system. It's known for, historically kind of fighting anxiety and even depression. It helps with memory, with high blood pressure, and even with heartburn. So it's a great all-rounder. The next one is a very, very common one. So this is Echinacea, and with most of these, the entire plant is edible. So Echinacea, you know this one, beautiful purple cone flower. You can also find white ones. You can find peach-colored ones. They're just beautiful, beautiful flowers. And they're really common for their immune boosting properties. Great for fighting infections, very common for that. And they also help with anxiety. Echinacea helps balance your hormones. The list goes on. It's another great one. And again, it's an easy one to grow. Most gardeners can grow Echinacea. Most areas can grow Echinacea. You can grow it from seed, as with most of these. We have Echinacea that's growing in shadier locations. It likes full sun, but you can get away with a little bit more shade. It's beautiful. It's just a great one. Great for wildlife. It's a great plant in general. Next up, we have hyssop, Anise hyssop. This is great. It has microbial qualities to it. It's a beautiful plant in and of itself. It attracts hummingbirds. It smells incredible. It smells like licorice. It's just a wonderful, beautiful plant. Purples, whites, blues, lilacs, lavenders. It's just such a gorgeous plant. I really, really love it. And it decreases inflammation again, and it is known to improve your circulation. And it's also used for fighting coughs, earaches, and also bloating. Next up, we have Nepeta or Nepeta. And this is the catmint and catnip family. Nepeta is beautiful. The plant itself is one of my favorites again. So having things that look beautiful in the garden and also have these healing properties, I think that's a wonderful thing about having an apothecary garden. So the healing properties of Nepeta. Nepeta is great for calming the nervous system. It's, really known to promote better sleep. So if you're struggling with your sleep, having Nepeta is really, really helpful. So many teas do that, but Nepeta is definitely one of them. And it has been known historically to fight fevers and to heal hives. It's just very calming, very soothing, very beautiful, and it smells incredible. The leaves are just heavenly. So I want to talk about some common plants that I excluded from this list. So one of them is lavender, right? Lavender can be a little bit tricky to grow, and it doesn't grow in all gardens. Lavender prefers a really free draining soil. So if you have clay, if you have really thick, heavy soil, or even, hard pan underneath your soil, sometimes it can be really hard for beginners to grow lavender. I think anybody can grow lavender, but it's just going to be a little bit more gardener heavy. It's kind of a little bit more of a high maintenance plant, I'd say, unless you have those perfect growing conditions. We've tried to grow lavender here, and it has come back one year and then didn't come back. Yeah, it doesn't love our soil, it doesn't love our area, and we just decided that for now we're not going to dedicate any space to it because we want to eventually have an area where we can grow a lot of lavender maybe. Plus, lavender is one of those that really doesn't like the shade. So I like to gear things more towards gardeners who garden in a similar area as me, in the Northeast, and we have lots and lots of shade on our property. So it's not ideal for lavender. Think about, the south of France, Provence, baking in sun. That's really the conditions that it wants. Really free draining soil, very, very loose, gritty soil, baked with sun, hot, long seasons. It's like the ideal conditions, and we just don't have that here. Rosemary is another great one that's great for memory, but not everybody loves the flavor of that, and a lot of people just associate it with the culinary benefits, so I thought I would leave it off this list, but that's another great one, especially, like I said, for memory. Great for memory. Another super common one is chamomile. Chamomile is a really common tea, and it's a really common one that's grown. The scent is lovely. It's like honey. It's really beautiful. But again, it's a little bit tricky for beginner gardeners to grow. It doesn't grow in all conditions. And I have found that the pests here love to eat our chamomile. We had an entire bed that was planted with chamomile, and yeah, it got eaten pretty quickly. And red raspberry leaf. So this is a really, really common one, especially for being on your moon cycle. If you wanted me to create like a healing tea recipe just for your moon cycle, like your period, symptoms, PMS, all that kind of stuff, let me know, because I definitely have teas for those things. Red raspberry leaf is one of those. It's just a really great, very supportive one for women. But the reason that I left it off is because raspberries do require a little bit more skill and attention as a gardener. So for beginner gardeners, I want to give you a nice, easy apothecary garden. Okay, now on to my favorite tea. This is the tea that I'm drinking all the time. I make this almost every single morning. I make it in this beautiful pot that I inherited from my Nana, and I drink it throughout most of the morning. So just go out and harvest some of these. This is pineapple sage and chocolate peppermint. And that combination is incredible. So all I do is I just put it in here. This has a natural kind of strainer within it. This little beautiful little cloud pot. Leave it in here to steep for just a few minutes. I use purified water for it. You could be really fun and you could use rainwater or something like that. If you live in a safe area for rainwater, make sure it's filtered and you're taking care of yourself. But that can be really nice as well. I steep the tea for a few minutes and then I pour it over. But I honestly just keep it in here and I drink it first thing in the morning and then continue to drink it throughout my morning into the afternoon. It's so beautiful. The pineapple almost gives it a little bit of that kind of sweetness, and the chocolate peppermint, it really tastes and smells like chocolate. It tastes and smells like a what's are those called? Yorkshire patties? Like Yorkshire, do you know what I mean? Like the chocolate and peppermint, peppermint patties. Yorkshire peppermint patties, something like that. But just those like chocolate mints that you would get in really fancy restaurants. But yeah, this is an incredible tea recipe. Like I said, the healing properties are wonderful. It's very calming, very soothing, anti-inflammatory. It's a wonderful tea blend. So I would highly recommend that you make this. I usually use about a handful of the chocolate peppermint leaves and then just a few of those pineapple sage leaves when I'm making it. I think that going heavy on the chocolate peppermint, that's my preferred recipe for this. So I'd say roughly about 20 leaves of the chocolate peppermint, maybe 5 to 10 of the, if you want to just sort of snip little bundles of it, 5 to 10 of those stems, and then maybe I'd say 5 leaves of the pineapple sage. Really, really great. You can even slap the, put the leaves in your hand and kind of slap them just to open it up and really allow those oils to diffuse into your tea. Beautiful, smells incredible, tastes incredible, and it just makes you feel calm. And it's a really nice kind of balance of that energy in the morning. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like if you like, subscribe to this channel for more content, and let us know down in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see. I have all kinds of tea recipes, so if you'd like me to make a video just about how I make these teas and different recipes, like I have a really delicious warm cinnamon hyssop recipe that's really, really good. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in, and let me know what kind of teas you're growing. Have you started an apothecary garden yet? Let me know. Do you even drink tea? Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again in the next one.